to try men's souls. Now, I'm just a simple guy from Queens, so you've heard all of these eloquent speakers, so I'm going to do some simple things. I simply remember the 80s, when crack had swept through our community with a passion, when fear was so strong you could taste it. I remember that it was such a horrible period that few people wanted to go out of their doors. And I do remember there was a voice that was saying that black men needed to stand up against crack. Right. I remember that there were those who were saying that we could come together and we could stand strong on these issues. It looked like the world was stacked against us, but lo and behold, 1 or 2 came together. Then 4 or 5 came together. Next thing you know, there was enough movement that we were able to tell these drug dealers, you can't do it on this street. You can't do it on that street. And block by block, we started to take back our community. And I remember that Sonny Carson was chief among them. You should not forget things when it gets better. Then I remember we had a gang problem, as we have now. And there were those who said that no one had the ability to speak to gang leaders. No one had the ability. They wouldn't listen to anyone. Yet I saw a man out there who was able to speak to the Bloods and the Crips, to all kinds of nation, street families that are out there, and they were able to reason with them. And that man was Sonny again. But I say to my colleagues that we have genuinely opened up Pandora's box here. We have opened up a box. I make a prediction. I make a prediction that there's going to be calls to get rid of Washington Avenue.
All right.
That we can't have a street named after someone who owned slaves in a community represented by the children of those slaves. That we're going to have trouble with Jefferson. That you can't have a street where someone is taking advantage of their slave, an underage slave. You can't have that. Now, there will be those who will even have a problem with Lincoln. I have to, as a historian, I have to remind us that Lincoln did say that in this country there will always be a superior and an inferior, and that he wanted the place to be of the superior to be the white race. He also said that he wanted black folk deported to Haiti. Now that was said at one point, but it is also should be said that Lincoln grew. That he was able to understand and grow and have a deeper understanding of things. That we should not just judge Lincoln by one statement that he made. We should not simply judge Lincoln by one period of his life. We should judge him as he grew. We should judge and understand that. And the same way that we can judge these folk, we should have that understanding about Sonny Carson. We should not simply say that these few statements would negate a whole life. We should understand that this is in context of things. So yes, there will be another day, and on that day, those who stand here, will pay dearly for what we say. I understand that compromise is a good thing, but if you can compromise on everything except your principles, but if you compromise on your principles, you have nothing left. You may win 30 pieces of silver, you may get the king's blessing for a moment, but you will not be blessed if you can't find something to stand up for. You're right, my friends. You gotta stand for something or you will fall for anything. You're right. I know that there's a lot of pressure, and I understand these things. And I understand that, boy, am I gonna pay for this one. But I tell you what, Sonny paid too.
Yes, he did.
He paid more than I ever will. And I refuse to turn my back on our leaders. They never turned their backs on us. They never turned their backs on us when we messed up, when we fell on our faces, when we said things that we shouldn't. They never turned their backs. Therefore, we won't do it now. God bless all of us.